Hey everybody, and welcome back to the Jedi Knights Watch. My name is Graham, and today I am excited to do a very special Hot Toys unboxing. This is the T2, the Terminator 2 T1000 unboxing. This is MMS 129. Yes, this is a very old figure. I think about 13 years old. This has been out for a long time. However, this particular figure is a brand new figure, and you might be wondering, how did I pull that off? Well, thanks to Hawk Wars Toys, he was able to hook me up with a brand new T1000. Yes, that is something special. I'm really looking forward to this, but you can find his eBay store down in the description below. Don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe, and ring that bell so you don't miss any new content coming your way. The box here is one that is different from what we're used to seeing. It's actually a full slip cover, and it's kind of cool because it's like this full gray. It's almost like the liquid metal look, and it's got the figure's portrait on the cover here. I was a little leery of getting this because it is so old, and again, it's MMS 129. This is the oldest figure now in my collection, but nonetheless, I pulled the trigger because, you know, I just had to. Terminator is one of my favorite movies, so I was excited to get the T1000. It just wasn't the same without him, but again, it does have that slip cover. It's a full slip cover, and then it does have this window display. It's very tight fit, so once we get that off, you can see the figure inside. And this right here was like the most satisfying part, was like opening up a brand new 13-year-old figure. Once we get him out, you see all of the accessories that come with this figure. It is astounding that we get so much. I don't think Hot Toys would do the same thing this day and age. This is basically like a DX figure. It's better than a DX figure on today's standards, and it could have been a DX figure back then. You basically get like three looks to the figure. You can change the whole outfit out, but then you also have so many accessories that you can add on. You can get so many combinations with this. I think this looks pretty good just at first glance, but I'm excited to kind of dig into it and just see if it stood the test of time. Now, let's start with the base and the accessories. We're going to just take the plastic off of here because, again, this is a new figure. And yes, I am excited about that, so I may say that a little bit. But it is the normal oval old school base, and that's kind of cool because it just gives you that charm of the old style figures. And I do have a few figures in my collection that still have that base. So this is pretty cool too. But he comes with a bunch of different hands. This one here is like the finger point that's going into the liquid metal. Just be careful of that because it can be kind of pointy, and I would hate for anybody to get hurt. He's kind of struggling with getting the other hands out here, but the one that I wanted to kind of focus on is the finger pointing gesture, because this is kind of like an iconic part in the movie too, where, you know, Sarah Connor's shooting at him and she runs out of bullets, and then he kind of like looks at her and he gives the little finger wave, like like that's a spoiler. That's the pose I'm keeping him in, and you'll see that a little bit later. But let's take a look at the head sculpt here. And obviously the paint applications aren't going to be as good as they are today, but I still think this is a great choice of head sculpt and what they did with it, with like the slice down the middle. And I do think it looks like the actor, but the paint apps obviously don't stand up to today's standards. You get all these like bullet explosions here that when they shoot them and the liquid metal kind of is popping around. Those are magnetic. We'll show how those go on later. And then we do have like the liquid metal hooks that are really cool too, and I think they're done really well. I love how they like go into the arms here. You take the hands and the wrist pegs out, and then these just kind of like, they don't even peg in, they just kind of like pop in, like they secure in, which is really nice. I thought it was gonna be like a Darth Vader glove, and I was a little worried about that because those are really hard to get in. Comes with that sword. I love the gradient color from the gray to then like the dark blue that goes and blends in with the suit. We get a bunch of stuff here: gun, mags, walkie-talkie, handcuffs, Uzi, and we'll talk about that a little bit more in depth later too. And then here's the second outfit that he comes with. It comes with the jacket with the badge with a lot of detail there as well. This is like almost like a windbreaker material, and then here's the pants as well. And then he comes with an extra belt and some boots. I'm not gonna lie though, I'm not gonna probably put him in this. I'm a little leery with such an old figure to just swap everything out like this. I don't know, it's just something that, you know, it's been done before, so you can go see that on other videos, and I'll post a picture right here so you can kind of see it too. The boots are going to be a rubber material, and they do have that tread on the bottom, which is really nice, but the helmet's really cool too, like iconic to the movie. It's got a real buckle here too. like I want to do this, but at the same time I worry about like putting this on and then ruining the paint apps or scratching the head sculpts. But then too, just again, being an old figure, you know, I don't know what's glued or, you know, what, you know, might be an issue. So comes with aviators too, you know, really small and delicate. Be careful of those, but they do come with a nice chrome paint application. Now let's get the figure out of the box and take a look closer here. And again, this is straight out of the box. Comes with the police uniform, and he's got the big belt with all of the pouches for all of his accessories. Now, the one thing I worried about was how this thing was going to come out of the box, because again, this is brand new, but it's been sitting for so long that you just never know. You don't know what condition it's been stored in, so I didn't know if the belt would be destroyed or not, but everything looks to be really good shape and intact. I think the head sculpt is really good. Again, the paint applications maybe don't stand the test of time, but I think the sculpt itself is good, and I think it's pretty good. I think I'd give it an 8, maybe an 8.5 out of 10 to the likeness. He's got the pointy ears, the hairstyle, and the furrowed eyebrow, which really adds to the figure as well. But getting him in hand and just kind of getting a feel for him, taking a closer look at everything. Here you can see that head sculpt. I think it's really good. I do think if you can get him in the right angle, it does look, you know, really, really good. And from some angles, it's just spot on. But overall, for again how old this thing is, I think it does a really good job, and it stands the test of time. The uniform itself, you know, you have the badge, you got some cool detail there. You even have the nameplate that says Austin, so that's really cool. It's from the police officer that he actually took out and then stole the uniform. The holster itself is actually plastic, which I actually like, and the belt itself is going to be pleather. The rest of the pouches are going to be plastic as well. So, you know, very little that could really deteriorate here, which is nice. The uniform itself is kind of a magnet to like hair, you know, so if you have pets or whatnot, you know, maybe just keep this away from them because, you know, you could just attract, you know, fuzz or hair or anything like that. The shoes are really nicely done. They have a nice shine to them, just like police officer shoes do, and then a little bit of a tread on the bottom as well. Now, if we're looking at like proportions, that's kind of like where I have the one issue is the arms look too long and then the hands look too big. Maybe the wrists are too thin and it just makes the hands look really big. But other than that, I can get past that because this is, again, an old figure, and I think the head sculpt looks good and the uniform looks good. So I'm excited for this figure. Now let's just start putting some of his attachments in here, and we're going to start with the pistol. It does snap if you want to do it that way. Here's a good look at this walkie-talkie. It's got really good detail too, and then it just kind of slides into the back pouch there as well. And he's got a flashlight, which I don't think it fits on the belt anywhere. I couldn't find a spot for it, but it looks really cool. And then the handcuffs are going to be plastic, but they do look really, you know, authentic, and actually click too when you like put them together. This is an amazing accessory, one that I will not have out because I don't want to lose it, but it's a freaking pen. Like, I didn't see that coming either, so that's pretty cool. And then here we do have the magnetic, like, bullet effects here of him getting shot, and just to put him in here, just he's got a magnetic chest, so you just kind of find where it fits, and you can put as many or as little on of these as you want, and whatever array of them as you want. So it's kind of cool. It just gives you more looks to it as well, and you can just gotta find where it kind of wants to grab to it. I dropped a few of them, so you know, you just got to be careful of that too. Going to his arms or his liquid metal hooks, again here they push in, and then you can hear them kind of click or pop in, so they're really easy, so that wasn't a problem at all. Now getting him out here with the Terminator, the DX13, they are a match made in heaven. They look great together. I am so happy that I finally have these two to pair next to each other, because again, I love this movie. It's iconic. It's when I was a kid. I loved watching it. Terminator is a bit taller than the T1000. Of course, that base doesn't help, but even just standing side by side, he is going to be a little bit taller. So now let's get him into some poses and talk about some of the things that I like about the figure and some things, you know, maybe not so much. Starting with the things that I really like that this is basically two figures in one. You get the totally different outfit swap, which is really cool. I'm not going to do it personally, at least not right now, but it is cool to have that option. And, you know, he comes with a ton of accessories. This thing would be a DX back then. I'm surprised it wasn't, but it comes with more than the DX figures do today, which is really cool. You know, back then, Hot Toys used to give you a lot more accessories with your figures. The next thing that I like is how these arms or these hooks, these grabbers attach to the arm. I thought it was going to be more like a Darth Vader, like the gloves where the peg is deep inside. and it's really hard to like find it. This technology was really good. They were just it's got its peg inside there, so you take the wrist peg out and then it just pops into the empty socket there. So great idea there. I like that a lot. The other thing that I like about this is minimal pleather. You know, the belt itself is pleather, but there's really nothing else that is. So minimal that could go wrong with this. You know, there's no deterioration. Obviously, with an old figure like this, you never know what could happen where it's sitting for so many years. But that leads me to the next thing that I like is just the fact that I got to unbox a 13-year-old brand new figure, and the experience was something unlike what I've done, but you know, prior in the hobby. So I'm really thankful to be able to do that. It's so cool. It's almost like it was in a time capsule, and I got to open it up and like revisit it, and couldn't be happier about that. Some things that I didn't like, the proportions. You know, the arms seem a little bit too long, the hands seem a little bit too big. It's an older figure, so Hot Toys has come a long way with their proportions. It's not a deal breaker by any means, but it is just something that I notice. If you can get them into the right pose, you might not notice as much. Outside of that, there's really nothing I disliked. Like, you could say the base or something like that, but that's the base that he came with back then, you know? Those were the Hot Toys bases. So we could get nitpicky, but it's really tough being the fact that this is a 13-year-old figure and he still stands the test of time today. I think if you're a Terminator fan, don't be afraid to pick this up if you can find him for a good price. I think he's worth it. I don't know if they'll 2.0 these Terminator figures or not. I think it's less likely than it is likely, but it could still be done. But even still, I think it's a great figure. And I got mine from Hawk Wars Toys. You can find his eBay store in the description below. Thank you so much to Hawk for hooking me up. Thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe, and until next time, stay safe out there, and we'll see you soon.